Welcome to the channel. Today we'll be building the Meng 135th scale Russian GAZ 215115 Tiger M SPN SPV vehicle. And yeah, let's get started. Yes, so hello and welcome. Here we are. We have all of our parts clipped out, ready to go for parts 1 and 2 of our build of this vehicle. And let's just get right at her. So here we go. And this is a good time to slow down and take stock in where we're at and how things are going. So, just sanding up this little piece. Now, this piece here, you may run into, if you're like me, and you're a little bit in the dark as to where this is going. It looks like it's supposed to go right there and then sit on here somewhere, but it doesn't actually give you arrows putting it in place. On 2 pages forward from here, there is a diagram. If you go forward, you can see where there's a diagram of this section where you can kind of see where it's placed, and it does in fact sit right there and attach to those points on either side, I do believe. Or is it on the bottom? That's on the top. Right, so basically it sits right in there, sort of right at the beginning of there, right, and connects to those, if I'm correct, right to there, to there, to there. So it sits right in there. Yoink! So we'll get that glued into place now that we know exactly where it goes. And we've come to the point to make a choice on our dashboards now. So it gives us this one and this one, and you can see right here, right there, that the commercial version definitely is this dash here with this bump out in the middle. You can see in the gauges, and we have a little bit different of a steering wheel. It's giving us a 2-post instead of a 3. But we can also kind of see here, if we take a look at this one here, you can see that this same dash is in there. It has this bump out here coming out in the middle. It looks like it's a little bit different, but it's definitely kind of like the same. So I think that will I think that shows that there's, in the different military versions they've used different dashes. So I think I want to go with this. I like this white here that we get all over. I think that'll look good in the interior. So we're going to do this dash in black. We'll get the decals on it. So I guess now is a good time to get some paint out. We'll get a coat of black on this, and we'll just give it a quick spray, and we'll let it dry so that we can get the decals on it. And in the meantime, we'll push forward with the assembly. But yeah, I thought I'd just pull up those pictures so we can kind of see what it was, because now, as far as I could tell, the dimensions are the same. So they're clearly going to pop in there. We've got a little bit different features on the side, but we got the same dimensions going from end to end, right? And here on the bottom, these tabs are same width, so it looks like it should be no problem. I don't think. I hope so, because we've already glued the steering column in. So we'll leave the steering wheel off. We'll get it painted, get the decals in, and then we'll get this set inside. I guess we'll be pushing on with the interior as we get into this next section. And just quickly, here's that section here on page 10, section 17, where you can see that arm right there, this piece here, how it connects to here, and then it goes along and it just hooks up onto that extension over here, right there. So that's where you find that in case you're looking for it if you are building this kit. And there we got that placed in there. So there's that connection there. So it's on the frame. We just gotta connect this other end here. It's a little out of whack, but I think we can hold it right there long enough to get connection. And that gets us right to here. No black base on the top because I want this to be lighter gray. So I just want to get a base color. We're going to add white as we go because as you can see the interior has that white element to it. So we want to pick out some of those panels and interior hardware and stuff that's going to be white. And I just want to get that base gray going on in here in the interior so that when we put on our camouflage decals, we've got all around it, like wherever the decal ends, we'll have that gray paint underneath. So I think I'll lighten this even with some white after we get this all filled in, but for now I think this light gray, sky gray, is giving us a nice base coat. And I think the gear house in the center there, I think I'm going to do in an olive instead of black. It calls for doing it in black, but I don't think I want to do it black. I think I want to do it in an olive to tie it in with the camo. The seats I think I might leave black, and we'll pick out some of these details in the dash and do them black when we do the dials. We've got our dial decals to put on, and we'll pick out our knobs and stuff here. But basically, yeah, I think the soft gray we'll highlight in here with a softer gray. This here I think we'll do in a olive. The seats I think we'll do black. This ammo case, yeah, I'm not so sure. I think what I might do is I might maybe get in here with an olive and paint these green and then go back over this with the gray, because I could pick out this framework with a brush. So I guess in hindsight I could have painted these inside green first and then put the cage around and glued it. So, you know, I could have done that, but we could still paint it. Be no problem there. Oh, get my big giant huge head in the way. So anyways, we're just mocking up where we're going to go, get our colors blocked in. I think now is next. We get some cleanup back here. But we're going to highlight all these, give us a sand. Then we're going to highlight all these with the lighter gray. So basically this is just our base coat. We've got our bottom part, our chassis all together. So we've highlighted it a little bit. It'll definitely get some mud and stuff on it once we know where we're at with the color of the base and the mud that's going on. But that gets us right to there. So I think now we are basically into section 16, which is basically piecing together what we've got painted. And then I guess what I'm going to do is I'll get a clear coat on what I've got painted in here, so we're prepped up to get the decals on. And I think that's what we'll start doing tomorrow, is start getting into the decals and piecing together the inside, because once we get through the inside, we get these little elements we can paint up. We're on to the outside, so I think we'll basically probably finish up this interior work, and then once we get it sealed up, I just don't know yet what we're going to do as far as masking or putting the windows in. I think we're going to end up putting the windows in and masking them right out. We can always do this by hand, the inside frame, and then all we'd have to mask would be the outside of each window. So yeah, so we're getting there. I'd say we're more than halfway done. We're at 16, 19, no, we're at 16. Yeah, we're at basically around 16. And to get to the end, we're at 31. But a lot of that is sort of, other than these doors and hatches, most of this is sort of smaller type steps. So yeah, I think we're more than halfway done. So won't you join us for part 2, hopefully, and we'll start putting together this interior that we can see here, working with some light grays and some whites, and we'll start picking out some details, and we'll get into these snappy camouflage decals that we have. Let's get them out and get a look at them, and that'll set us up for tomorrow once our clear coat is dry. So here's these decals that we got to apply. So some of them are fairly large, and we'll see how they go. Now we've been warned that they may not fit perfect, so we'll just take it slow and we'll see how they go. But, yep, tomorrow will be all about our dial decals and our camouflage interior decals. And then that's it, all we have left for the outside are the license plates and these stars and bars. Russian stars and bars. So anyways, that's conclusion, I guess, for part 1 for the Russian Gaz Tiger. And join us again for the conclusion. Until next time, live, love, laugh, plan something for tomorrow. Keep building if you are. If you haven't started something, give it a shot. I think you might like it. I do. We'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.